What's going on, people? We are Tottenham TV. We are back. Are the team going to be back this weekend?
We'll see. We'll be back for something. I don't know if it's a football match or what, but they'll be appearing tomorrow.
They'll be appearing in front of a certain number of fans.
Exactly. I don't know whether they'll be kicking a ball around or not, or just lumping it forward and hoping for the best, but we'll see.
Yeah, so we got a lot to speak about today. A lot of transfer rumours, a lot of rumours about our own players doing the rounds today.
Enjoyed yesterday, took a day off from talking about Tottenham.
Oh, I loved it. I loved it. Absolutely. A day with the kids, the wife. What more can I ask for?
What more could you ask for? Didn't have to think about it, didn't have to read anything. Can just take a break from it. Now
ignorance is bliss, as they say.
A lot happened yesterday.
I know, a lot did happen, you know. I was there down at the Vitality, and you know what?
It's been a whirlwind 48 hours.
It was a great day, mired by an hour of football, I would say. But again, I felt like I was walking away from it feeling a bit more positive than maybe some fans not there at the game. But
did the injury news continue that positivity?
No,
we've got yesterday.
Not exactly, but yeah, look, a lot of people being like, "Oh, yeah, it was a disgrace, this, that." Like, I just felt it was better than a lot than what we've seen this season. So, yeah, look, I wasn't too far away from Mickey van der Ven coming towards the crowd and all that madness. So, it feels like during the game, everyone seems to be supporting the team, and then by the end of it, everyone's just so frustrated and just boos the. It's the first time I got to see it in front of my own eyes. Like, literally, the players come over and, you know, there's a few claps. Mathys Tel came over and everyone's like, yeah, well done, Mathys, clapping him over. And then Frank comes over and the boos for Thomas Frank are just like, God, very damning, very damning. But yeah, I fully expected, to be honest, with the way we're playing. But yeah, I felt like on another day we could have taken 3 points in that game. I really believe that.
Yeah, again, it's similar to Sunderland in the sense of those boos after that game. In isolation, it's not like it wasn't the worst thing we've ever seen, but when you take the whole context of the season, it just carries on what's been a horrible season at this point.
But I was watching some of the stream yesterday, and I was listening to you and Daigle, and Daigle was like, "Oh, the Bournemouth game, in his mind, confirmed his feelings for Thomas Frank." And I was just thinking, like, why that game out of all games? Because that game actually showed me a few signs of potential life. Because I thought first 15 minutes we were good. Last 15 minutes it looked like we were fighting, and you know we had those chances. If Van der Ven scores that goal, I think we go on and win the game. So. I don't know, man. It's all just very confusing, and I think emotions are running very high on and off the pitch right now.
Yeah, and I think similar to last season, it's a culmination of lots of things, not just the manager, but the manager's obviously right now taking the brunt of it because obviously Levy's gone and he's the one where everyone's aiming. I'm not just saying that he doesn't deserve a lot of the criticisms games. I think he does, but I think when it comes to everyone's anger in the away ends or whatever being directed towards him, don't get me wrong, he should be doing a lot better. But yeah, I think it's, again, this football club, we're a mess. The fans are fighting. The players seem to be going against the board. The fans are fighting with the players. The manager seems to have lost control. It's a complete mess at the moment. Yeah,
there were kind of slight murmurings of chants against the board at Spurs yesterday. At Bournemouth. Enoch Out was being sung, and it didn't last very long. It wasn't very loud, but yeah, for about 20, 30 seconds, there was a chant of Enoch Out in the away end.
It's only a matter of time before the attention starts turning back towards
Well, I know, I've seen change for Tottenham as well. They've started to pipe up recently and talking about potential planned protests and stuff like that. So it's all starting to kick off again.
At the end of the day, there's still Enoch, you know what I mean? And as much as for me, you know, when they did this whole thing in the summer, it was more of a rebrand than anything, in my opinion. And we're right to be sceptical of them because at the end of the day, it's still them. It is still Enoch, and they might say it's changing and all this kind of stuff. But they have to prove it.
Look, skepticism is one thing, but seeing as they have had this whole rebrand and new people kind of at the helm with the Lewis family, is it not right to give them the chance to turn it around in this window and the next window. I know, like, what we're seeing is so far more or less the same. You know, we've got rid of Brennan Johnson, no replacement, but we are only the 9th of January. It's still early days. And obviously with the news that Spurs are potentially going to be signing a 19-year-old left-back, that is more of the same as well. So the evidence so far, 9 days into the window, is more of the same. But do you not feel that the right thing is to do just to give them a bit of time?
Well, depends what your approach is. Is your approach they're getting my support until they prove me wrong, or is your approach they have to prove to me that they have changed before they get my support? And I think a lot of fans are in the latter, and I probably am in the latter.
Yeah.
And so where do you sit?
I was thinking that I just wanted to see how it went. Obviously, I was happy when Daniel Levy left the club. I was happy with the noises coming out. But there always is going to be that natural skepticism about it. So, I don't know. I just want to wait and see. But so far, not good. That's the reality.
Nothing seems to have changed.
No.
Not just footballing. I think the decisions haven't
But
been great.
also, on the top of it, like, how much can we even expect to change with how bad the club is right now? What kind of players can we even attract? That's the thing. Like, they can put down 100 million all they want, but who is actually going to come here?
It might be a case they have a lot of money, but no one to spend it on.
Yeah, exactly.
Could very well be the case.
So they could have all the great intentions in the world, but if no player is willing to come, then those intentions, you know, are they going to get the brunt of it because no players are going to want to come? And is it actually their fault right now that no players want to come?
Oh, it's just been breaking news.
Oh, well, major breaking news that Christian Romero has been given a 1-match ban and a £50,000 fine in relation to his FA Cup FA charge. The charge was in relation to Romero acting in improper manner and failing to leave the pitch following his red card against Liverpool. So it looks like he's going to be out for the weekend.
Yep, he's out for tomorrow. So more misery getting piled on. Another player missing ahead of an injury crisis, which we are now in the midst of. Exactly what we don't need, and now he's been banned for a game. And this is the one game we need him for. Like, this is one game which we could do with him not getting a suspension. Like, this is a massive game to keep our season alive and keep us fighting for something. Because the league seasons, look, as much as the league is close, at the end of the day, we are 14th, and that at the moment is tanking. Champions League, we're just not going to win that as much as we would love to. So the FA Cup's the only realistic chance of maybe doing something this season.
Well, I still think there's a realistic chance of Spurs doing something in the league. Why, with the league being so close together, all it takes is a little run and we're right back up there relevant again.
Yeah.
So
but
why
there's
not?
no evidence of us going on a run.
Yeah, but if there's no evidence of us going a run, is there evidence that we can beat Villa with or without Kuti Romero?
One-off game.
Yeah. How many one-off games do we need to win the FA Cup?
What, 5?
You know what I mean?
Happen.
It could, but I mean, look, both are highly unlikely. But yeah, look,
These players have just won a trophy.
Yeah, they have won a trophy, but you know, I don't think we beat anyone better than Aston Villa probably in the run to the Europa League. But look, I think what I'm saying is that if Spurs can somewhat turn it around in the second half of the season, and we go beat Villa, then the FA Cup becomes a realistic possibility, but also finishing in Europe becomes a bit distinct possibility too.
Yeah, but if we go out the FA Cup, which look, I know is looking likely tomorrow, but going out, all of a sudden you're just this season is ending very, very quickly, and that is what just the last thing we need as well. That everyone's already losing interest. If we can just stay in this FA Cup, give us something to really look forward to and fight for, that's massive. And losing Romero, our captain, for tomorrow is a massive blow. It's a massive blow again. It's just this football club, another oncoming train.
Another one, yeah.
I just wish it was like the next game. I'd much rather he misses West Ham than he misses this game.
Yeah, they couldn't have waited 24 hours to bring this
Put
out.
an appeal it, and maybe you can. I don't know.
I think this is from an appeal, isn't it?
Is it?
Yeah, because Frank said in one of the press conferences that Spurs have appealed.
Now, what did they appeal?
Charge.
Was it the charge they appealed?
Yeah. This is from an appeal. So, yeah, not great. Romero is suspended for the game tomorrow against Aston Villa. Spurs will have to make do without the captain for yet another game.
He got his fine, even though he didn't get fined by the club for his comments. He got his fine anyway.
Yeah. but not a club not one from the club. But this is from the FA. But that's the breaking news as of now. Yeah, great to start off the stream on a positive note. Because
constant bad news at this football club, isn't it? It's just a constant stream of bad news.
Yeah, and we've got some more bad news to come through. Don't worry.
Great, fantastic.
But we're going to start off talking about Tottenham wearing a special edition shirt commemorating the 1901 FA Cup win when they face Aston Villa tomorrow. The long sleeve shirt represents a retro look reminiscent of the kit worn by the team 125 years ago and remains the only time a non-league club has won the competition. It's actually a lovely shirt.
Yeah,
it really is. All white, as you see, the team of 1901 on the shirt as well.
No red in sight. That's what I love to see. That should be our kit, man.
It really should be.
That should be our sponsor. Why is it ever having red, man? This is so much nicer.
And by the way, take this in because this is the most positive that is going to be on the screen.
A nice shirt, nice commemorating our history of winning something as a non-league team as well. Does Ben Davies look AI to you there? He kind of looked AI to me.
Yeah.
It doesn't really look like him.
Yeah, well, it looks like him, but it's definitely AI
That's
for sure.
AI, that's not him.
I think Mickey van der Ven is as well.
Yeah, but he looks all right. Davies looks weird.
They're both AI'd.
Davies looks really weird, though. It's so strange.
It's probably because you don't see too much of him, so he's aged a little bit recently.
Can't they get a picture of him? Why are they using AI? How hard is it just to take a picture of him?
Spurs are cutting costs, man.
I thought Levy had gone.
They're cutting costs so they can spend 100 million on a player, didn't you know?
The big cost of taking a picture of Ben Davies.
Yeah. No, but look, a really nice shirt. Let's hope that our performance can match how good the shirt looks on tomorrow. So that's that. Next, we're going to talk about the manager situation. Team Talk is saying that Tottenham have put Roberto De Zerbi at the top of their list of targets if they decide to part ways with Thomas Frank. The Dane's position is set to become reviewed at the end of the season. Mm-hmm. What do you reckon about De Zerbi? Would you take him?
I mean, yes, I would, but he's just such a loose cannon. That's my only fear. I think he plays brilliant football, and I think he's actually a really good manager, and I think he's doing a great job at Marseille, and he did a great job at Brighton when he was here. The football he does play is exciting, it's dynamic, it's quick pace, it's sharp. He was also kind of like a not revolutionary, but he was like ahead of the curve when he was in the Premier League. There's a lot of principles he kind of brought in, which are now still being used, like the way teams bait the press, they wait for teams to come and then bam, 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 hit them in behind. I think he's coached that brilliantly. I think he would be a great fit. The worry thing for me is, first of all, he doesn't seem like a very nice person. He seems like a bit of a dickhead, but whatever.
Not a nice person? Why? In what way?
The way he conducts himself. Have you not seen I've seen clips of him when training at Marseille, and the way he treats players, the way he treats clubs as well. There are definitely some big question marks there. He seems like a bit of a crazy guy.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't know. How does he treat players?
The way in training, there was a few clips going around about the way he was going in on a player for doing something wrong in training, and then he completely just went on him, and he was like, just get out training, kicked him out, said just go find another club.
Really?
Crazy, yeah, some crazy stuff. Just off because he didn't make the pass he should have or something. He's crazy.
That sounds worse than Conte, man.
Yeah, he's a nutter. So there's
that won't go down well with our squad, I'll tell you that.
Yeah, there's definitely reservations there, and also the club obviously have had hotheads in definitely Conte before, speaking out in the media. So did the club go in that direction? In terms of purely as a manager, I think he's a good manager, and I think he could do well here. So it's whether we can get that side under control, that side of him.
I don't think you could ever get it under control, to be honest. Once a hothead, pretty much always a hothead. So I think... look, I like him as a manager, but after hearing those things, I think he'll alienate a lot of the squad that we have.
Probably. I think people like Romero would love him.
Romero, yeah. But I think plenty, the young players in the squad. And also, we're so mistake-riddled.
Yeah, I know.
Our players.
We kick everyone out. We kick everyone out of training.
We'll have no players left. Do you think the injury crisis is bad? Wait for De Zerbi gets hold of them. Anyway, so that's that. Next up, we're going to talk about the Brazilian star that Spurs are going for. Fabrizio Romano says that Tottenham are closing in now on a deal for 19-year-old left-back Souza from Santos. Spurs have agreed to pay 50 million euros, and now all that's left is to agree payment terms, and Plettenberg says that Souza is now on the verge of joining Tottenham Hotspur. So it looks like this guy is going to be our first signing of the summer. It is a position that we're desperately after. Something got brought to my attention in terms of his injury record, which doesn't look great.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, apparently he's spent a lot of time over the last 2 years out injured, which obviously isn't great, looking at Spurs' track record for injuries. But maybe we're trying the reverse. Last time we were looking at players that are not injured regularly and to bring them in and see what happens, but they seem to get injured more regularly. So maybe we're going for injury-prone players and hoping they can put those behind them.
But isn't this his first season in the top flight? He's only played 25 games for Santos.
I don't know. I saw on Transfer Market. Let me bring it up.
It's very odd. It's odd. So when he was saying he was injured when he was at youth level or whatever. Bloody hell. How has he got such an extensive injury record?
So this is injuries dating back to 18-19. So he was a kid, proper kid back then.
Literally like
that's
a child at school.
That
They're picking up his playground injury record. Look at that. His playground injury record.
And look, there's 2 pages of it as well.
Bloody hell. But to be fair, not many long term. There was actually one there at the bottom. That was when back in 2019. Not too many. Well, actually, a couple of monthers.
Anyway,
it's not great. 2 pages. Yeah, you heard that right. 2 pages.
2 pages for a 19-year-old.
That's not great.
But that's not actually the one I saw. I think that can't be the right player.
Is it not?
No, because the one I saw was something different.
Okay.
This is
there
it.
You go.
Yeah, this is it. So injury to ankle last season, missed 17 games, 100 days out. The year before, he missed 22 games, 141 days out. So 2 big injuries already in his career.
Thigh problem and an ankle problem. Well, hopefully they've done their due diligence. But he seems like a talent. He does seem like this guy. A lot of people are excited about him.
Tim Vickery actually said that Carlo Ancelotti's got him in his mind for Brazil.
The new Marcelo.
Yeah. New Roberto Carlos.
Look, at the end of the day, until he proves it at Tottenham, it's hard to get excited. And obviously there's going to be reservations because there's going to be reservations about any teenager coming into from the Brazilian league, having as little experience as he has, and we're expecting him to be the next best thing. He might well be, but I can't sit here and say he could be showing brilliantly. I could watch clips of him and analyse him and say, look what he does here, look how good he is in the Brazilian league and stuff like that. And he comes to the Premier League, it's a different story. So it's hard to really know and analyse a player with that little experience. I'm pretty sure he's only played like 20-odd games for Santos. That is literally his body of work, and he's currently a teenager. So for anyone to suggest this is the right sign, this guy's amazing, like it's a no-brainer, it's hard to really say that at this point. But he could be a good, talented player. Maybe we see something in him, and like this guy is ready for the Premier League and he's ready to play here. And if that's the case, maybe he's worth the punt. But if we can rely on our scouting and our recruitment, then fair enough. But it's hard to do that given our track record.
Yeah, he's got 38 games behind him over the past 2 seasons for Santos. That's where he's at right now. So he's been in their first team for a couple of years, but a lot of the time he's been out injured. So he missed the first 7 games of this season out injured, and last season he missed the first 12 games out injured. But managed to stay fit for the majority of the rest of the season. So
on the bench a lot, I see.
Yeah. So that's Souza.
But that looks like this one's being done.
Looks like it, but it looked like Morgan Gibbs-White and Eberechi Eze were getting done as well.
Yeah, but those are different.
I think with Souza, though, like it's just not one that excites me. I think that we need a player that can come in and hit the ground running, and there's just no evidence to suggest that he can do that.
Yeah, it's hard to get excited about it, but look, if he comes, obviously we'll back him, and hopefully he's a good player, and hopefully this guy is ready for the Premier League, and by all accounts, he does seem like an exciting talent. So from that point of view, let's hope he's can contribute to the squad in the way that we want. But I hope we're not looking at this deal again in 18 months' time or a year's time or 6 months' time saying, oh, this guy needs to go, we need to loan him out, we need to loan him out for experience, that kind of thing. Like, I just hope we're not there again.
Yeah, absolutely. But Tim Vickery seemed quite positive about him.
He did, yeah.
And thought, he did say, it'll probably take a bit of time for him to get used to the Premier League, which is not what you want to hear, but he thinks he's a big talent, big talent. So that's Souza. Looks like he could potentially be our first signing of the summer. Next up, we're going to talk about Kevin Schade, as Florian Plettenberg says that Kevin Schade is one to watch for the summer as a move after the World Cup currently appears likely. However, Brentford still want him to stay and are keen on him extending his contract. Many clubs are interested. Tottenham are among the team closely monitoring him, as revealed. Price valuation is between 50 and 60 million euros. Look, we said it when we sold Brennan Johnson. Signing Kevin Schade as his replacement probably doesn't smack as moving in the right direction. I think they're pretty much the same caliber of player. And again, they're talking about a summer transfer, not even a January transfer. So we need players now. Like, forget the summer. My mind is so far away from the summer right now. We need players here and now. And talking about Kevin Schade in the summer is nothing that excites me.
We might not make it as a club till the summer, at this rate. But yeah, I think, as I've said before, I like Schade. I do think he's better than Brennan, has a bit more to his game, gets in better positions. I think he's a bit better on the ball as well. But he is very similar. He's a very similar player in a sense that doesn't really offer too much, like outside of his ability to get in behind and score goals and have good goal creating actions. But in general play, it's quite similar. He can be frustrating. He can be anonymous a bit. He can be uninvolved in the game, but a bit like Brennan, he comes up with the crucial moments, which is a good skill to have. And I don't mind having a player like that in the squad. But is he a massive upgrade on Brennan? Probably not. But is he an upgrade on Brennan? I think he's a better player than Brennan, in my opinion. I think he has
probably
more to his
slightly.
Game. Yeah, I think he has more to his game than Brennan Johnson. So from that point of view, I don't mind swapping Brennan for Schade. But again, I don't know about signing him for Thomas Frank, and then Frank might not be here. Then where does that leave him? And then does the next manager would he want a Schade? So I don't think there's any point, right? I don't know. It's very difficult to be talking about signing players for the summer when we don't know who our manager is going to be at this point. I mean, at the moment, obviously they're backing Frank, and we've got to assume he is going to be it, but that's very much up in the air if we're being honest. So if we're talking about if we still have Frank by the summer, maybe this signing makes sense. But if we don't, I think we've got to take another look at it.
Mm. Well, it looks like we won't be signing him in January anyway, so we can park this conversation.
I'll probably take him in January right now, to be honest, because I don't think we're going to get much better than him.
Yeah, that was the problem with selling Brennan Johnson. Yeah. Like, why sell Brennan when you don't have a deal lined up? Why sell Brennan? It's just madness to me. But anyway,
and selling Brennan to sign Schade for an extra 25 million or whatever, or 15 million, that doesn't seem
crazy
great, because Schade could easily sell for the similar price in a year's time if he's not doing as well.
Yeah, exactly. Next up, we're going to talk about the goalkeeping situation, as Team Talk are saying that Tottenham are keen to sign Real Madrid goalkeeper Andrea Lunin. The North London club have growing concerns over the viability of current number one Guillermo Vicario. Would you take Lunin as a replacement for Vicario? I think I might,
I remember there was that one season Courtois was out for pretty much the whole year, and he deputised. He was quite good.
Yeah, in that season, he finished third in the Ballon d'Or, goalkeeping Ballon d'Or, the Lev Yashin trophy.
Yeah, so I'm guessing is he just happy being number two at the moment? I don't know, to be honest. I have to look into him a bit more, Lunin. I remember liking him when he was at Madrid. He was quite good. But obviously he was no Courtois, and that's why Courtois came straight back in as soon as he got back fit.
Yeah, but Courtois is like one of the best goalkeepers in the world.
Right, but still, maybe. I remember liking him, that's all I remember, but I don't know how much he played in the last couple of years.
Yeah, not much. So
it's hard to, put your finger on what kind of where he's at the moment, but I think he could be a good option.
Yeah, I think I remember that period when he was number one. He was very good. Commanding from crosses, good with the ball at his feet, decent shot stopper. There must be some kind of weaknesses to his game, but I'm just not sure what they are.
It was last season he started 21 games. Yeah, I'm sorry, two seasons ago.
Yeah.
Last season only 7. This season he hasn't played at all. So, yeah, I mean, I remember he's quite good, but is he good enough to be our number one? Not sure.
Yeah. All right, next up we are going to talk about Richarlison, as there's been a story from Bruno Andrade from ESPN Brazil. It says that Richarlison wants to leave Tottenham after the World Cup this summer. If Flamengo decides to postpone the signing of a striker until July, one of the targets will be Richarlison. Clubs in Turkey and Saudi Arabia are interested in him as well. So all these last years trying to sell Richarlison, him not wanting to leave, and apparently now he wants to leave the club.
Maybe he just doesn't feel wanted here. We've always kind of tried to get rid of him. Obviously, this season, he can probably say he's having his best season in a Tottenham shirt.
Yeah.
And I don't know. We'll see how many goals he does end on, but likely he'll probably get at least 10 Premier League goals, which is good. But yeah, I think we all know if we want to push on, he probably needs to leave, and we need a better striker than him. I think he's doing a good job for what he's been asked to do and what he's capable of right now, and he's scoring quite a few goals. And I think even recently, like when he's come on games like yesterday on Wednesday, comes on, causes chaos, causes a bit of trouble. But when it comes to being that real quality available player, yeah, we need more, especially as our number one striker. So if we can get some money for Rishi, move on, sign someone better, I think that's better for all parties, especially if he wants to leave, then even better. And I think maybe that's also been part of the reason he's still here, because I think he's wanted to stay more than anything. I think he's wanted to prove that he's not been a waste of money, and the move's been a good move. But I think at the end of the day, his future is not going to be here, I don't think.
Yeah.
We all expected him to leave in the summer when it didn't happen.
Yeah, and there were even rumours of the summer before that as well. So I think, I think it is time for Richarlison to probably move on, and Spurs to look to bring in a better striker and someone that can consistently contribute over the years, and he just hasn't been able to do that. Look, decent season this year in terms of his goal output, but I think it's clear for everyone to see that we need better. All right, so that's the Richarlison situation. Next up, we're going to talk about Mickey van de Ven. Now, this is a worrying situation brewing with Mickey. As Matt Laws says that Tottenham have been keen to offer van de Ven a new contract, but some sources believe the defender is frustrated with the current situation at the club. And a publication called Sport says that Mickey van de Ven desperately wants to leave Tottenham this summer and would welcome a move to FC Barcelona. And Indicator, however you value him, also says that he wants to leave Tottenham, and he was probably actually the first one to report it. But look, I think it's clear how frustrated he's getting at Tottenham right now on the pitch. Something that we've not seen from him, of how frustrated he's getting week in, week out. He's one of the only ones that keeps up his standards. Unbelievably talented player, we know that. And he's just getting better and better, in my opinion. And with the state that Spurs are in, it's no surprise to me that he's going to want out sooner rather than later. Yeah,
definitely. Albeit the last 2 seasons he's been at us, he's obviously suffered from serious injuries. This season he's keeping himself fit, and that's obviously very important for him. And that's going to alleviate any fears that other clubs have about spending big money on him if he can save it. Because we know when he is fit, he's a very, very high-level defender, and I think he's been phenomenal for us ever since he's come in. I think, especially as a young defender, he's been fantastic, and I think his development this season's been great. He's really turned into a much better box defender as well, and he's really added that to his game. You got to credit Frank with that. But I also think he's been doing these interviews. Is that a precursor potentially to engineer a move somewhere? He was clearly disgruntled in that Chelsea game, walking past Frank and not clapping the fans. He's been firing the fans away at Bournemouth. The league form for us has been horrible. He knows he's a player capable of playing right at the very top for the very biggest clubs. And I think he's looking around at Tottenham thinking, are they ever going to be capable of that? Is that something that I can ever achieve here right now? In his first season, obviously, we finished 5th, but since then, he did win the Europa League, but we've obviously sacked that manager. We've brought in Thomas Frank after finishing 17th, and now we're 14th in the league. I got the impression in that interview in the overlap that he didn't. I'm not saying he didn't like Frank, but they're just the body language and the way he was talking about Frank compared to how he was talking about Ange. There was something in me that says I don't know if he's completely buying into what we're doing at the moment. And albeit he has himself developed, the team hasn't, and we haven't kicked on from that trophy win. In fact, we haven't kicked on in the way we should have. And he's looking at that situation thinking, after getting the Champions League last season, that's a real moment to kick on from that and try and double down on, moving forward and not kind of consolidate a mid-table position, but try and use that fact that we got into the Champions League and be ambitious and try and get us competing again. And I know it's easier said than done, but if we're going to be out of Europe next season, is that acceptable to a player like Van de Ven? Probably not. That's not, as much as the club wanted to stabilise maybe and bring a solid manager just to get our league position stabilised because of where it finished last season. Like these players can't afford to have just another season out of Europe and not kick on from getting in the Champions League. So I can understand his frustration. Obviously, we've seen Romero with his comments, and I'm sure that he's not alone in that. And I'm sure Van de Ven probably feels the same way. So it's a tough one to take as a Tottenham fan if that is true, and I wouldn't be surprised. And unless we make some major changes, I don't see how he is going to be satisfied being at his football club.
Yeah, look, I think it's a bit. This kind of situation was a bit inevitable with someone kind of as good as Mickey Van de Ven, and unfortunately, like if you could ask me any player I don't want this to happen to, it's him. I think he is the shining light at Spurs right now, and it's really frustrating, but what can we do? We're an absolute mess right now. Like, we can't convince players to come. On top of that, we can't convince our best players to stay. So it all comes hand in hand together. So I don't even know what we can do to fix it right now. That's the problem. Like, there is no light at the end of the tunnel in terms of becoming a serious and a competitive club again. So how do we do it? How do we convince someone like a Mickey Van de Ven to stay at the club?
Actions speak louder than words. Unfortunately, we've been speaking a lot. Romero's accused the hierarchy of telling lies. And at the end of the day, that's probably how a lot of the players
I have
feel.
much less sympathy for Romero than Mickey Van de Ven. Romero signed a contract in the summer. If he said it like lies and this and that, like, why sign the contract?
Well, because he was fed lies.
Yeah, but he's spoken out against the board before.
Yeah, but he bought into the rebrand, like a lot of people did stupidly, in my opinion. But yeah, but maybe he was sold a bunch of stuff in the summer which hasn't come to fruition. But my point is, with Romero saying that, it's not about sympathy with Romero. It's more about he's probably not the only one who feels like that, and Van de Ven maybe feels like that, and maybe what they told Romero, I'm sure they told some other players. Maybe they're telling that to Van de Ven right now to try and get him to sign a new contract, and at the moment that doesn't seem to be borne out, and that's a massive issue right now at where we're at. And look, maybe we're going to have to take money for him. Maybe we're going to have to accept a big offer if he doesn't want to be here anymore. And he's going to be at the height of his value in the summer, probably over 100 million. You're talking, but what we can get with that money, no one as good as him. So
yeah,
it's depressing.
Yeah, absolutely. That's Mickey Van de Ven situation. Next up, we're going to talk about Radu Dragusin. As Dimarzio said that in the last few hours, there's been contact for Dragusin between Tottenham and Roma. Roma insist on signing the centre-back, and they're considering a loan with an option to buy, which would become a commitment under certain conditions. However, Paul O'Keefe says that there are currently no discussions with Tottenham regarding Dragusin.
There's another publication said obligation to buy.
Yeah, that's what I said. So it's
an option to buy.
An option, which would become a commitment under certain conditions.
Okay, so that's a bit different. Okay. Yeah, I'm torn on this one, but I think if I'm Radu, I would probably want to move. I think that makes sense, because go somewhere where if you're guaranteed
what players we're going to have left at this point?
Yeah,
Van de Ven wants out. Richarlison wants out. Radu wants out.
Takai go, so he's not even an option.
All our players are there. We're falling like flies in terms of injuries as well. It's like we're going to have no one left.
From Radu's point of view, he knows that right now, for the rest of the season, as long as Romero and Van der Ven are fit, he's not going to be in the first team. So he's going to be getting some cup games, whatever, but we might be out the cup, and he's not exactly going to be called upon to play in the Champions League. So from his point of view, if he wants to get up to speed following his ACL, there's a team guaranteeing him playtime and a good team like Roma, then you would make the move. Tottenham's point of view, obviously you want to keep him around, but if he's not happy and it is better for his development, maybe let him go. But again, that leaves you very short, and it's going to be you're leaving yourself with Van der Ven, Romero, Danso, and I'm guessing if we do sign the Souza, then maybe Davis becomes a centre-back and he's going to be the backup to Van der Ven. But we've been here before about whether he's good enough, and we know he just isn't. But
there's rumours of Ben Davis leaving as well.
Yeah, and if he leaves, then we're going to have to sign one. If he leaves, we're going to have to sign one.
Oh, my days, this club, man. It's madness. The amount of players we're talking about leaving, potentially. And there's no talk of bringing anyone in. There's promises that Spurs are going to be serious this January, but apart from Souza, there's no real links to anyone.
Yeah.
It's crazy. It's crazy.
Well, I think he is going to go,
Yeah.
I think we're going to accept it.
Let's talk about Tyrese Hall, because this is a player that Spurs rumoured of being back in the squad this season as the Sun. However much you value them, they say Tottenham have discussed cancelling Tyrese Hall's season-long loan at Notts County and assessing him with the first team.
Interesting. But I find it interesting we've taken the player who's currently on loan in the bottom division compared to some of the other ones that Leo Donnelly's been brought back and others, and we haven't considered him, but we would consider Hall. Obviously, he's a player at the moment. He's played a few different positions, hasn't he? But he kind of plays on the wing, doesn't he?
It's like an inside 10, like a Conte style 10/winger kind of thing.
And look, there's a lot of hype about him. A lot of people think he's very, very good, and he's been doing very well for Notts.
He's a player that can play 6, 8, 10, false 9. He's played all those positions in his career so far.
I'm all for it. I mean, I'm all for giving him an opportunity if we think he's good enough. We think there's something there. I think we definitely need the players right now. And he's an academy product with promising potential, and he's done very well for Notts. Scored quite a few goals, and I don't know. Look, do we play him on the wing? Would that be the idea? I don't know. We'd have to obviously take a look at him. But
I don't think he'd be a winger. I don't think he's a winger. He's not a winger.
So where would we play him, in midfield?
Yeah, he's a central player, in my opinion.
So with Bentancur injured, Berglau injured, we could do with a certain option.
Yeah, maybe that's the thinking about it. Maybe they know more about the Bentancur and Berglau injuries, and they're looking to bring in some bodies, because we just need bodies right now. Because you're looking at it right now, we've got Palhinha. Who we got? Palhinha, Gray,
Javi,
and Javi. They're our only fit central midfielders, which is crazy. We had so many at the start of the season.
Yeah.
I guess Pape's coming back fairly soon, but still a few weeks away from that.
Maybe tonight if he loses, we'll see.
Is it tonight, yeah?
I think so, yeah.
Well, one of Bissouma or Pape will be back after tonight.
Do we have to bring Bissouma back into the fold?
I think there's no option but to. We have to bring in Bissouma back in the reckoning. We have to. Like, what options do we have?
Oh, they're playing right now, actually.
Oh, is it?
They're playing right now, 0-0.
Are they both starting?
Bissouma is, Pape is not.
So, yeah, we have to bring Bissouma back. If he gets knocked out today, right now in the AFCON, I think it's a no-brainer. I think you have to. There's no other option.
Wouldn't cancel his contract?
Cancel it? No. What's the point? 6 months to go.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree with you. I think if he's an option and if we can get him back in the fold, I think we'd be stupid not to consider it at this point, because we're just so on our knees for something.
Yeah. Next up, let's talk about Antonin Kinsky, a surprise transfer rumour from Fabrizio Romano saying that West Ham are interested in Tottenham goalkeeper Antonin Kinsky.
And Romano's reported he's not happy at the moment. He's barely played this season. He played, a couple of games. Both in the Carabao Cup, so I can understand his frustration after coming in. He was probably, thought he'd play a bit more. He did play a bit last season, but I don't think he hasn't seemed ready, has he? To be honest, as much as he definitely has good elements to his game, when it comes to being physically, not being bullied essentially, and also has some shot stopping issues. He definitely is not a number one right now. I think definitely he's 22. Maybe in a couple years, he could be someone who's good enough to be number one, but he clearly needs developing, and he clearly needs to work on a lot of elements. So I don't think he's been ready to number one. I would be shocked if West Ham make him their number one right now in their current predicament.
But how can we even let him go? What, we're going to go back to Brandon Austin as our backup keeper?
I guess so. Another one, yeah.
I just don't get it. There's talks of Kinsky and Vicario leaving. It's just crazy, isn't it?
They're not going to leave. They're not going to both leave in January, that's for sure.
It's just nuts. It's just nuts how many players are rumoured to be leaving the club right now.
It's all outgoings at the moment. That's what
I'm saying. It's just... I don't even know, man.
I don't think he goes to West Ham.
If he goes to West Ham, there's some suggestions on social media that's West Ham gearing up for the Championship.
They're getting ready already. They're planning. I think it'd be good for the Championship, to be fair. But
is he a better goalkeeper than Areola right now? Probably not.
Yeah, probably not.
All right, next up, let's talk about Mathys Tel. Another player disgruntled with life at Tottenham Hotspur. Fabrice Hawkins says that Tel wants more playing time at Tottenham Hotspur and will be listening to offers this winter. A departure is not out of the question. Right now, Tottenham don't like the idea of Tel leaving, even if it's just on loan. We heard from Alistair Gold right at the beginning of the window saying that Spurs would consider potentially a loan exit this winter. However, he has started the last 2 games, 2 decent performances as well. Last time out, I thought he was really good, probably Spurs' best player. I mean, surely Spurs can't consider his exit in this January. He's our best attacker right now.
Yeah, we can't let him go. I think we need him. We're actually relying on him right now. So the thought of letting him go is ridiculous. And at the end of the day, if he's not happy with game time, he's going to get plenty of it, and then over the next month at least. And if he proves himself, he'll probably stay in the team. So I don't think there's any chance we let him go right now. But I think there was maybe a chance at the beginning of the window when Johnson was here and we didn't have Kudus was fit and all that kind of stuff, and Tel was really the odd man out and he just wasn't getting the minutes. I thought at that point maybe we'll loan him out. But right now, with the injuries we have and Johnson being sold, we can't. We actually just can't let him go.
But the rumours that when Ali Gold spoke about it, we already know Brendan Johnson was pretty much about to go, and he still said Tel, Spurs open to loaning out Tel.
Yeah, but now Kudus is injured as well.
Yeah, it's just...
So we can't.
But even to think that Tel, even with Kudus fit, you can't let Tel go, in my opinion.
I agree.
So how are they even considering it when Kudus was fit is beyond my belief, man. It's just crazy talk. Mathys Tel has shown his value to Tottenham so far this season, in my opinion. When he's come off the bench earlier on this season, I think he did well. I don't think there's any kind of evidence to suggest so far what we've seen from Mathys Tel that he's not a value to the team.
I agree. I think he's been, especially since that Leeds game, most of his performances have been pretty good. He's been an asset to us, and he's actually looked bright. He's been able to get shots off. He's able to beat his man a few times. And against Bournemouth, I thought he was excellent. That was by far his best performance, I thought. I thought he was really, really good in that game. So he just got a goal as well. So why would you want to kill that momentum by thinking about letting him go? I understand his frustration, but I think he's starting to prove himself. Need to give him a run of games. I think he's a good player. Also
could be with conversations that have happened in the background with Thomas Frank, because we know that he was left out the Champions League squad, hasn't had too much of a look in up until recent weeks. So has there been a conversation similar to conversations happen with Frank and Brennan Johnson, maybe not as harsh as that, to say, you know what, you're not going to get too much of a look in here? And maybe...
It can't be. Not with the options we have right now.
No, right. I'm not talking about right now. I'm talking about previously in the season.
Maybe.
Because if he has had that conversation, then it makes sense, that he wants to leave the club.
He might have, but I think it'd be absolutely ridiculous to have had that conversation. I think with Brennan, everyone kind of knew how his limitations would tell. I think he's a good player. I know he's young and he's still a bit raw and has a lot of growing to do, but I think there's definitely a player in there. I've always been a big believer in him, and I think it'd be stupid to let go of a talent like that.
All right, and last but not least, Luka Vuskovic has been voted Bundesliga's player of the season so far. There were 16 players on the initial shortlist of the player of the season so far, but Vuskovic saw off leading goal scorer Harry Kane to take the crowd in the final with 60% of the vote. So apparently the last two were Harry Kane and Vuskovic.
I think that's
and
mental.
Vuskovic won it.
I think that's crazy to me that he's been Bundesliga player of the season so far.
Not even young player of the year.
Yeah, I think that's nuts. Like, imagine a centre-back in the Premier League for a bottom-half team being in running for player of the season, even halfway through. Like, you have to be playing so well, you have to be so outstanding to get noticed at that kind of level that of playing in the bottom half of the table as a defender as well. So you're not winning games consistently, and you're not keeping clean sheets consistently. That's how well you're playing, that you're getting noticed by fans from the whole league. Even fans voting for you ahead of Harry Kane, who's been unbelievable this season. We all said it might be one of his best seasons of his career. And Vuskovic is getting voted ahead of him for player of the season so far. I think that's quite astonishing, in my opinion, as an 18-year-old centre-back, and just goes to show the talent we have here. And obviously we're not thinking about recalling him right now.
We should.
Even though we probably should put him in right now. But with Van der Ven and Romero at the moment, with what's going on with them, we might need him next season, with the thought of loaning him out again. But if he's playing that well, you'd be stupid not to put him into the first team.
Yeah, but look, massive big up to Luka Vuskovic of what he's done this season in the Bundesliga, and I'm sure second half of the season will provide even more good things coming his way, that's for sure. There was an excerpt in the Matt Law article that we were going to talk about.
According to Bruno Andrade, Tottenham have reached an agreement of a fee for Souza now for 15 million.
All right, first signing of the winter about to come. So where is it? Okay, so here. So Frank insisted he had shown he is able to draw the line with his players by dropping Yves Bissouma from the Super Cup squad for persistent lateness. But some may reach the same conclusion as one source who spoke to the Telegraph Sports said it's double standard. So this is in relation to Romero speaking out in his social media post. There have already been claims that Romero has granted more freedom around the training ground than the rest of his squad, and he was made the club's highest paid player when he signed a new contract last summer. Vinay, the new Tottenham CEO, told the Fans Forum it was the best deal in world football this summer when he addressed them in October. Telegraph Sport has been told that Tottenham's angry players took it upon themselves to hold a half-time inquest at the Vitality Stadium. But by that time, the players returned to the dressing room, having confronted fans after the final whistle. There was little said, with the move described as quiet and brooding. A source said that things were said between the players at halftime in the dressing room, but at the end it was just quiet. Message to the players was just well done, which seemed a bit strange given what had happened. And a well done after defeat is not exactly
It's very odd, isn't it?
the best thing that you want to hear. But in terms of Romero, do you feel like it is double standards, talking about no restricted no action, no fine from the club, speaking out? But I think it's different situations, the Romero one and the Bissouma one.
Yes and no. Apparently, well, I was listening to what Frank was saying. Frank was saying, players make mistakes sometimes, and Bissouma happened multiple times. So he said it was very hard line. You do this certain amount of times and you're getting fined or whatever. But for Romero, it's just a mistake. He's our captain and he's not going to get fined. But this isn't the first time Romero's done this, made a comment like this. So it's not just a one-time thing. Whether you want to think about what he said, if you like it or not, it's not the first time he said something like this publicly and implicated the hierarchy. So I think Frank, and maybe he doesn't know the context of Romero, this isn't the first time, but I think from that point of view, I think he probably is in line to get a fine from the club for saying these things publicly in Instagram posts and calling hierarchy liars and stuff like that. So, and he's done it multiple times, calling them out. So for me, you could definitely argue there's a double standard there, because Bissouma was late a couple of times and bam, he's out of the team and he's not.
But it's not just about being late a couple of times as well. It's also about the laughing gas.
And the laughing gas, yeah. True. Maybe it's mobile things rather than mobile times, I guess you could argue.
But also the lateness is also predating Frank. It's not the first time we've heard of it. So I think both situations, Romero and Bissouma, both predate Frank, don't they?
But at the end of the day, they've both done it multiple times.
Yeah.
And one's getting punished for it and one isn't.
Yeah.
So is that fair? Should Romero be punished? I'm not going to advocate for us to punish him, but I think if I can understand the perception that it's a double standard for him because he's the captain and he's such a big player, and we did such a hard job of convincing him to sign that contract and all that kind of stuff. It's like maybe we don't want to do anything to upset the apple cart with him, and we're desperate to keep him, so we don't want to, we know he's such a hothead, and we sometimes, and we know that he can maybe he'll take something the wrong way or whatever. I don't know. I'm just trying to play devil's advocate.
Well, they must have sold him a dream, like to keep him at the club and to make him sign that contract. And after all that, they basically don't want to, upset him in any way. And that's not the best situation to have, right, really, at the club. I think every player should be held to the same standard. However, I do think they're different situations. Like, I don't think Romero's one is born out of wanting the best for the football club, in my opinion. I think Bissouma's one is just clear unprofessionalism.
Right, but from the club's point of view, you can't have a player like Romero making comments about the hierarchy more than once.
Yeah.
He's actually made it 3 times now.
Yeah.
Once after we lost to Chelsea, once in the summer. And albeit you could argue he's kind of just hinted at it rather than said it explicitly.
Yeah.
We all kind of know what he's talking about. Maybe that's the case. Maybe it's just willful ignorance, and because he didn't say it explicitly, they can just brush it under the carpet and say, well, we don't really know what he's talking about, so we can't really fine him. And maybe there would be a legal problem for fining him if he didn't actually say anything properly. Yeah. Maybe that's the case. I don't know, but at the end of the day, it's coming from a source within the club. I don't know who it is. I don't know whether it's a player, a coach, or someone in the board, or whatever, or just someone around the club. But someone clearly feels that way around Tottenham. So, I don't know whether that's a widespread feeling.
Yeah. Is it normal for your captain to get maybe different treatment to other players in the squad? To be held to a different standard, maybe?
I think so. Depends.
You don't think it's normal?
It depends on what circumstance.
Yeah, look, I guess
if Bissouma made these comments, would he be fined?
Probably.
Yeah, that's
probably.
Yeah. So maybe, I don't know. I don't know if it's right for it to be. Maybe it is the case. I think there are definitely scenarios where players are treated differently because they're standing in the squad, where one player does it if they're not in the, that you can use it as an excuse to sell him, whereas another player, if they're very important to you and they do it, then you can overlook it. So I think there are, I wouldn't say necessarily just because of captain, but definitely players who have a higher standing in the squad. Yeah, so I guess that it's not completely crazy.
But I think if any other player made these comments, they probably would have been fined. Even a Mickey van de Ven. If Mickey van de Ven made those comments, is he getting fined?
Probably. I don't know. Yeah, you'd think so. I expected him to get some sort of retribution. But apparently he just had him, Vinay and Johan and Frank all had a good chat, and they're going to deal with it internally, whatever that means. Obviously, he's going to be banned for tomorrow. Yeah, I don't... It's a very strange one. But I just wonder if it is a player who's a source, if there is a bit of unhappiness with the fact that he hasn't been fined, but I don't think so, because all the players were liking his comments. I don't think he's a player.
Yeah, I think that was 3 players, weren't there?
Some liking it, some commenting on it.
Yeah.
So I think it must be a widely held view, agreement, I would say, with his Instagram post, unless there's a split in the dressing room, but I don't think so. I'm guessing everyone agrees. So yeah, I doubt it's a player who's the source. So I wonder who it is. Is it a coach? I don't know. It's interesting. But in terms of the other thing as well, I find that a bit interesting. There clearly shows where everyone's head's at, isn't it, when it comes to the dressing room. Obviously, Frank said at half-time, Romero gave a good team talk and got everyone heads right and whatever, and we obviously got back in the game, but we ended up losing at the end. But yeah, I find it weird. Maybe Frank's just trying to acknowledge that we had a decent performance and we were unlucky, so the message was well done rather than anything else. But should he, with Romero not closing him down for the goal and at the end there, should there not be some higher standards maybe?
For me, what I think this is that
tempers were obviously running very high after the game, right, with the altercation with the fans and everything like that. So obviously morale and, there's a tense situation there in the dressing room. Everyone's down, no one's talking. So I think Frank just comes in and says, all right, well done, but then more to be said after the game, probably the next day when they have a meeting about it. I just think, he probably thought, less said the better right now.
Didn't have to say well done, though.
No.
And also, again, with a source saying it makes me think the players thought that was a weird reaction from him.
Yeah.
Or at least maybe it was a coach or whatever, someone within the club did. So, yeah, that's not great.
No. Look, nothing seems great at Tottenham, and this kind of brewing situation of the discontent in the squad is probably the worst of the lot. Like, seriously, I don't know how we manoeuvre ourselves out of this situation. I really don't.
No, and then the worst thing is as well, like, we have now this injury crisis, so it's hard to expect him to turn it around in this current scenario, but he kind of has to turn it around because the mood is so bad, and also how we've managed before. But yeah, it's hard to expect me. It's hard for me to expect him now to start getting results amidst what's now happening within the squad with these injuries.
Yeah. So happy days, huh?
Yeah, great.
Happy days.
Fantastic.
And on top of that, we have got a very important game this weekend. Tomorrow, 5:45 kickoff at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium under the lights. The FA Cup. 9,000 travelling, noisy Villa fans will be there. Will there be enough atmosphere in the stadium to drown them out? I don't know. There's an initiative from the club in terms of atmosphere going into this game as well, where there's going to be a singing section in the southeast corner, trying to replicate that kind of singing section or unofficial singing section that we had at White Hart Lane. And we need some atmosphere. We need to kind of boost morale in some sort of way. But we're going to get into our predicted lineup first and foremost. Frank says that Spurs are going to go heavy, go strong, and pick the best team available. I mean, I don't know why that's not always the case, but
you got to rotate sometimes. But tomorrow is not the time.
Who can we rotate? But let's get into the team news.
So, not good team news at all. So new injury news as of yesterday. Mohamed Kudus is going to be out till April in what is a massive blow. Injured his tendon. Lucas Bergvall waiting for a scan, but he looks like he's aggravated a groin injury that he picked up against Crystal Palace. So he looks like he's definitely going to be out. Rodrigo Bentancur has picked up a bad hamstring injury. So from that point of view, that looks like it's going to be months rather than weeks, you'd probably say. That's not a good one. So they're all out for tomorrow. Kulusevski is hopefully going to be back on the grass in a month's time and is not really kind of near a returning. Maddison still out for long term. Solanke maybe positive steps, as Frank's saying, so maybe we're close to return. He's been kind of in light training but not back yet. Doggy as well, he's been training for the past few days, so maybe he's in line for return shortly but not for this weekend. And obviously Basuma and Sarr currently at the AFCON playing right now as we speak, so they're unavailable.
So this predicted lineup, let's get into it. So 4-2-3-1 as usual, and in goal we know it's going to be Vicario.
Do we know?
Yeah, we know.
Are we sure?
Yeah.
Not been in great form. Cup game. Could Kinsky get the run?
No.
Well, he did say full strength, so
no chance Kinsky's playing this game. No chance.
Have we seen the last of Kinsky this season?
Probably, yeah.
Probably, you think so?
Yeah.
What if Vicario's form continues?
Still,
he's not going to go to turn to Kinsky at all?
No. I don't think Vicario in the last couple of games has been that bad to drop him. I think Vicario's been okay last couple of games. So Vicario in goal, back four, I think is pretty much as we were.
Yeah, I think so.
Yes.
Except for no.
Romero's out, so Danso will come back in, which I don't have too much problem with.
Danso in.
So Porro, Danso, Van der Ven, and Jed Spence.
Obviously, correct me if I'm wrong, I think in the Villa game in the league, Danso came in last minute for Romero, pulled up in the warm-up, if I remember.
Yeah.
But yeah, There you go.
So that's the back four. Moving into the midfield, again, we got no options.
Now it's easy to pick, huh?
It's easy to pick.
The easiest midfield we've picked.
João Palhinha and Archie Gray.
João Palhinha and Archie Gray. It's not exactly a midfield that inspires too much, but maybe that could be a good combo. Obviously, Gray, he's liked to pair Gray with Bentancur in recent weeks. But, yeah, Palhinha, to be fair, Palhinha did have a good game.
Very good game,
against Bournemouth. So that was promising. And if he has more games like that, maybe it wouldn't be a problem. So Gray didn't start the last game as well, so hopefully he's a bit fresher in this one.
Yeah. In the 10, only one option, and that is Javi Simmons. I thought, he was decent in parts in the game midweek. I think really nice assist. Obviously, Tel did all the hard work. He had a lot to do, but still nice play to get the ball to him. And then I thought he came alive a bit in the last 10, 15 minutes as well. So we're going to need a massively on it Javi Simmons if we're going to take anything from this game.
Absolutely. I think he threatened to be good and then was out of the game for large parts, then was quite good for other parts. So, yeah, we're going to need him massively in this one.
Now on the wing, again, not too many options. I think it's going to be Tel and Odebear again.
Well, unless Moani plays on the wing.
Yeah, I hope not.
Or unless Moani plays if Moani plays up front, then I think Tel for sure. The only other option is it going to be Odebear or Moani off the wing?
I want Odebear, and I think it will be Odebear.
I think it will be Odebear as well. Came on the last game. Moani had a bit of a shocker, so I think Richarlison comes back up front.
Yeah, and up front Richarlison, 100%. I think Moani was just horrible. Got his chance at number 9. Everyone's like, get Moani in the 9, get Moani in the 9, and he had an absolute stinker.
Yeah.
And Moani
did more in probably his little spell than Moani did the whole game.
Moani, the last few games, I think has been really poor, man. Like, he needs to step up massively. He just looks really disinterested, to be honest. At least Richarlison, he's always going to try 100% and chase every ball down. Whatever you want to say about his quality on the ball or off the ball is fine. But I think you always know he gives 100%.
And he's always kind of a bit of a chaotic figure as well. He kind of asks questions of the back line especially when crosses are being put in and stuff like that. So he's always, I wouldn't say always a threat, but he's just always there, always in the box. Doesn't go missing.
Yeah. So when you're looking at our lineup, doesn't leave much on the bench though, does it? Like, you got Moani on the bench, you got Dragusin on the bench. Who else?
Moani, Dragusin,
Ben Davis,
Scarlett.
That's it.
And so I'm guessing it'll be a bunch of youngsters.
Luca Williams, Barnett, Olusesi, maybe. Who knows?
Like, we have to buy a bunch of youngsters.
It's crazy. We're back here again.
Horrible. God. I thought Frank was supposed to sort all these issues out.
Yeah, clearly not. So what is the issue with the injuries then? If it wasn't Ange and it's not...
Style of play. It's because we're so intense. That's what I kept hearing.
What is it then?
Don't know. Luck? Is it we need a deeper squad so we can start rotating more?
Or is it just the crazy amount of football?
Is it the crazy amount of football? But how do you combat that? Is by having a deeper squad.
Yeah. But I mean, our squad, it's not like we lack numbers. Maybe in certain positions we do, but as a squad in general, we've got a lot of numbers there.
But yeah. So Frank should be rotating them more.
Yeah.
And Kudus has started 27.
But we were criticising Frank for rotating too much.
It's true. Some players,
like Kudus hadn't, but I mean the rest of them have.
Well, the rest of them aren't injured. Bergval, he got injured and brought him back. Bentancur, he hasn't rotated him, to be honest. He's played. I saw yesterday 29 out of 32 games this season. So he's clearly been overplayed.
What, 22 starts or just games in general?
No, started. And even for club and country this season, out of 32 games, he started 29. I saw this season. So that's given how much we've played, 29 out of 32. Yeah, so he started. So that's a problem. But again, I think the lack of depth is what's probably led to that.
Yeah.
In his opinion, anyway. he hasn't trusted some other players. I would like maybe he should have trusted Brennan more. We clearly hasn't fancied him because he sold him. So
it's not squad depth, actually. It's just lack of trust in certain players in the depth.
Yeah.
So
but again, you could put it either way. As in terms of actually having a player there, we have. But similar to last season, we had players, but the manager didn't fancy them, so he weren't trusted. He thinks we wouldn't get the points if we played them. So we just ran the other players into the ground, and now we're in this situation. And obviously...
So they're suffering from the same thing. Like basically what we're saying is that we've got players there that need to be utilised more.
Yeah.
And Brennan Johnson, whatever your thoughts about Brennan Johnson was, he's good enough to play minutes.
Yeah.
You know, I think Pape Sarr as well has been kept out of the team for a bit, and João Palhinha as well. Like these guys, they're good enough to play minutes. Maybe not start every game, but definitely to alleviate the workload on some of the players that we've got. So Ange obviously did the same thing. Frank's doing the same thing now. So both of them are probably culpable for the injuries that we've had.
Mm-hmm. Agreed. But I think the root cause is the lack of quality in the squad. That's the root issue.
Yeah.
But the consequences are what we're seeing.
Correct. All right, so this is the lineup that we're going for. Vicario in goal, Porro right back, Spence left back, Danso and Mickey van der Ven in the back two, Palhinha, Gray and Javi Simmons in the midfield, Odegaard on the right, Tel on the left and Richarlison up front. Score prediction.
Does it go to extra time or a replay?
I think it's extra time.
Let's go. The replay's done now. What are we saying?
Maybe they're just in the FA Cup third round.
Is there replays or? I am gonna go with 2-1 to Villa. Yeah. I reckon we take the lead, and I reckon Villa come back and win.
Classic Villa.
Yep.
I'm going 3-1 Villa.
3-1. Ben's down in the dumps. No funny feelings. No nothing.
It's not match day yet.
Oh, okay. Wait till tomorrow. No replays. Extra time and pens.
Okay.
Apparently, Romano's just tweeted about Souza saying it's done.
Here we go.
Not here we go, but he's done one of these.
Oh right. Green tick emoji.
Looks like we're going to get a here we go soon.
All right, here we go soon from Fabrizio Romano on Souza. But look, let's get into the match preview. It's a really hard one, man. Like, on top of everything, we got to play Villa in the FA Cup third round. It's just like, it's just a kick in the teeth. You know, Villa, one of the most informed teams in the Premier League right now. Morgan Rogers smashing everyone off the park. Ollie Watkins back on form now. John McGinn starting to score goals in the last couple of games. I mean, they've just got a good team that's functioning so well right now. And look, you can say what you want about, you know, sometimes they don't perform, but they can always put the ball in the back of the net, that's for sure. They've got quality. We concede a lot of goals from the edge of the area. They score a lot of goals from the edge of the area. So it's kind of a recipe for disaster, to be honest. But is there any way that Spurs can cope through?
Look, I don't think I think they're a good team, don't get me wrong. And they're running very, very hot at the moment. Obviously, last three, they've only won one. So maybe, you know, after an 11-game winning streak, a bit of a dip there. Obviously getting really torn apart by Arsenal on that occasion. And look, yeah, they drew 0-0 with Crystal Palace in midweek. So I don't think they're an incredible, like, unstoppable force like Villa. I don't think they're on the level of, even though they're level with Man City and whatever, I don't think they're that amazing, as much as they're a very good team.
You don't need to be an incredible, unstoppable force and an amazing team to beat Spurs.
No, I'm 100% right. I'm just putting the case forward. Like, I think they're beatable. I think they've probably massively overperformed their results in the last 12 games, couple of months. Ironically, I think it started with Spurs, didn't it? They beat us, and then they just went on this incredible run. When actually, you cast your mind back to October, we were favourites for that game. They were on bad form. We weren't playing well. We were getting the results, and we went into that game thinking we should win.
Yeah.
And if we went 1-0 up, it was looking like, okay, Spurs are going to win this game. We ended up, they turned it around in a game we probably could have got something out of, to be honest.
Yeah.
And we ended up losing. They scored just 2 great goals. But that's what they've just been pulling those things out the bag. Those just long-range efforts, those bits of quality. which have seen them through. It's an incredible run of a hot streak they've been on in scoring those kind of just goals from outside the box. I've never seen it anything like it, to be honest. Just how consistently they've done it. It's quite incredible. So, in terms of just a game of football and a one-off game, they definitely give you chances. They're not impenetrable. Their defence isn't fantastic in terms of they do leak goals, they do concede. And they do give you chances. Whether we're going to take advantage of that is one thing, and whether we're going to be good enough to keep them out and not allow them shots from outside the box is another thing as well. So I think all points suggest that they're probably going to get over the line in this one. But I don't think it being a one-sided game. It'd probably be a close game, to be honest. Now, hopefully, the fact that it's a cup game, hopefully Frank will just go for it more. You know, the fact we can't draw, right? So either you win or you lose. There's no drawing here, so you can't just settle for a draw in this game. So hopefully that leads to us being a bit more adventurous, going for it, going at them. I do think we can hurt them. I mean, not with the way we play. I'm saying with the players we have, I think we can hurt them. With Tel, if Tel can play like he did the other day, I think we can create chances against them. Set pieces as well. I think we can get some joy from set pieces. We're second for goals scored from corners, so that's something. So I think there is reasons to believe that we have a chance, but when you look at how Villa have been getting results and everything, obviously they're going to be coming to this super confident, and even if they do go 1-0 down, I don't think it'll affect them. I think they'll they won't panic. They've come back before so many times. We've obviously given up leads as well, so they will not think, oh, we're in trouble here, even if they're losing. But I think when I look at their team and our team, and I look at how the game could go, I think we could. I do think we have a chance.
The problem with this game is the lack of options Spurs have, particularly to change a game going into the last half an hour. With the bench, which we went through, is going to be very weak. Like, are there enough options on there to come on, make an impact in the last half an hour, where Villa probably come on really strong in most games?
Yeah,
you know what I mean? They've got, Donny Marlon comes on, makes a difference. They've got players to come off the bench and make an impact, where, we've played so many games. We're going to tire probably going into that last half an hour, and I think that's where it's going to be won and lost, in my opinion. And I see that being a really bad situation for Spurs.
Yeah, I'm looking at their bench. I mean, it doesn't scream. But they've got Buendia, they've got Marlon, so that's good. But it doesn't scream massive amount of quality. But they've obviously got a better first team than us, and Rodgers. I think the key thing is in midfield as well. Kamara, Tielemans, McGinn. They've been brilliant. They've been absolutely brilliant, especially Tielemans. Well, all of them, to be honest. They've been absolutely fantastic. So that is obviously something that we're going to struggle to control that area. And I think midfield is the key area when you're playing against Villa, because they play a mid-block. So if you win that midfield, then I think you can really take the game to them and you could open them up. But if they win that midfield battle, it becomes very, very difficult for you to control the game.
Yeah, the problem is that they're so high on confidence. We've got like a fractured dressing room with going at fans, and there's just such a toxic atmosphere at Spurs right now. It's just hard to envisage a way that we can win this game, to be honest. And you've got players in this Aston Villa team that are improving throughout the season. Morgan Rodgers has just improved as the whole season has gone on. Tielemans improving as the whole season has gone on. John McGinn has been in and out of the team, but he's starting to click these last few weeks. You've got Ollie Watkins improving as the season has gone on. You've got Matty Cash is probably having his best season ever in his career. I think Matty Cash has been a revelation for Aston Villa this season. He's been fantastic. So you've got Emi Buendia, who's having a really good season for Aston Villa as well. So you've got all these players that are improving throughout the season, and then you've got Spurs who are just fighting with their own fans, and Spurs fans booing the manager off every game, and it's just like, how? I don't see a way that Spurs can win this.
And I do fear this game in particular could be a bit of a boiling point, because it's the FA Cup. It actually is more important at the moment than the league games for us, and it's because it's probably our final chance to win any kind of silverware this season. And I think, especially being at home, if we do lose and it's a poor performance again, and we're on the pitch, we're not going for it or whatever, I can see this being a real boiling point for the fans and at home, and a real maybe breaking point, to be honest. I do wonder if we go out of the FA Cup, will it be the end for Frank?
So I was speaking to a lot of fans at Bournemouth, and everyone was saying the same thing. If we lose to Villa, that's it for him. He won't be in a job past the Villa game. Do you believe that's the case?
I think it's possible, to be honest. I think they really want to let him see it out. So I don't think that they're going into this game thinking if he loses, he's out. I do think there's a chance though that when we do lose, the emotion and the toxicity is so strong, they decide, okay, we have to make a change, and they think maybe we just interim it in the league, try and get some better performances, and try and get some fans on side. And with the league being so tight, maybe we can climb the table. Maybe that's how they feel. I don't think the plan right now is. I don't think right now they're saying you have to win this game or you're out. I don't think that's the case. I do think there could be a reaction. You do.
I don't think they're going to sack him.
No,
I don't think they'll sack him if we lose this game. I genuinely feel that Vinay thinks he's got his Mikel Arteta 2.0 on his hands right now, and I feel like they're going to stick through it through thick and thin. I don't know if he'll last past the summer, but I think in terms of this season, I think he's going to stay here till the summer.
It depends how bad it gets.
Because we're not going to get relegated. We're far away from relegation.
13 points.
Yeah. So
no, we're not getting relegated.
Like, I feel like they're just gonna.
But they don't they expect Europe? Do they not expect us to get back into Europe this season?
They probably do expect it, but I don't know. Expectancy changes throughout the season, and maybe they just feel like we've got our guy, and over the long term, it will serve us a better purpose in their mind.
Yeah, and I think they're wrong, but. Yeah,
whether they're wrong or right, but I think that's the way they're looking at it right now.
Yeah, but that can change as well.
Yeah, of course. And I think that will come at the end of the season.
Yeah, I just feel like because it's the FA Cup, if we go out in the third round and kill any chance we have of silverware this season.
Apparently, Basuma's just got sent off.
That is so funny. I think there might be an emotional reaction. I think if I'm a betting man, I would say. What says yellow card here? Maybe he's got yellow. Red. I would say there might be an emotional reaction after this loss if we do lose, especially if it's a bad performance and we go out with a whimper. I think there could potentially be an emotional reaction from this board because as long as the manager's got something to really fight for silverware-wise, I guess he's always got a chance. But once that goes, but then again, to be fair, we are still in the Champions League. I know we've got no chance of winning it, but is it only fair to give him that as well? Maybe.
Look, in my mind, we're only 8 points away
from
bidding off the league, and so we can focus on the Champions League.
We're only 8 points away.
Yeah, 8 more points, and we should be safe.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah, easy said than done. Second yellow. I mean, I would. I'm not joking, to be honest. I would obviously go full strength in the champion. If we are right now where we are in the league, and we are still in the Champions League, I'd obviously go second string Premier League and go full in.
However, the level of opposition is just a little bit different, isn't it?
Still, you've got to give it your best shot.
Yeah,
you've got to give it your best shot.
Yeah.
I remember last season when I think we had some panel shows and people asked me next season if we're in the Champions League and we're in the same situation this season, would you accept bidding off the league to focus on that? I'm like, hell yeah, I would do that.
Yeah, because
why not? You got to give yourself the best chance.
Yeah.
But yeah, obviously it probably not going to make a difference anyway. But if we do, if we don't, whereas last season it definitely did make a difference. If we do get through this tie though. Could this be a turning point? Could this be something that maybe, focus on this FA Cup? And really, the only thing we can get some joy out of this season is maybe this. If we can get through this tie, going forward, a few kind of ties, and all of a sudden you can find yourself in the quarters or a semi-final.
You never know. You never know. Football is a very strange game, and you've seen teams in the past not going well in the league. The FA Cup comes round or a different cup comes round, and you see a different kind of performance.
Here's a question right now.
Yeah.
As of
what hypothetical?
9th,
what hypothetical you bringing me now?
17th in an FA Cup.
Would I take 17th in an FA Cup right now?
Yeah.
Probably.
I would. I think right now I would, given what I'm seeing. If you offered me, we're going to win an FA Cup and finish 17th and get in Europa League, fuck it.
But what's the other side of the hypothetical?
Other side, we don't know what we're going to do, but...
Yeah, well, we don't know if we're going to finish 17th or win an FA Cup. That's a hypothetical, so...
Yeah, would you take... I'm saying, would that be acceptable for you?
What's the alternative, though?
We finish 7th.
Finish 7th?
Yeah.
And no cups?
Yeah.
I'll take 17th and the FA Cup.
I think I'll take 17th.
But if we... I mean, would you take... All right, here's why. Would you take...
But does Frank keep his job if it's 17th in the FA Cup?
No, you won't.
No, he won't keep his job.
17th in FA Cup or 6th? Back in the Europa League.
Back in Europa, but you get Europa League either way.
True. You do get... Yeah, that's true. So 5th.
FA Cup.
Back in the Champions League.
Okay, 5th, I'll probably take 5th.
You take 5th?
I'll take 5th. But my point being is... My point in asking the question is, right now, the season's going as it is.
Yeah.
Right, if I asked you at the beginning of the season, you might say no. But I'm asking you now because look how the season's going. If I offered you a bit of happiness at the end of this season in an FA Cup, even if it meant 17th, you're probably saying, yeah, probably, because right now it looks like I'm not going to get any happiness or any joy in terms of league position, trophies, whatever. So if you got me a guaranteed, I'm getting an FA Cup even if we finish 17th, I'm probably taking that.
Yeah, and all of a sudden, 2 trophies in the last 2 years.
We're serial winners. Serial winners. Would you take it? Let's see in the chat. I reckon the chat will probably take it. I guess. Would you take 17th?
Do we beat Arsenal in the semis?
Yeah, we beat Arsenal in the semis.
All right, 100%. 100% I'm taking it. Did Arsenal win the league?
Oh.
Because that's what happened in 91. We beat Arsenal in the semis. Arsenal won the league.
Arsenal... Arsenal win the league. They're going to win the league either way.
God. But I guess if we do finish 7th, it does show that, we've had a better second half of the season than we did first.
We would have had a better second half of the season, yeah.
Yeah.
So how many points we are off 7th? We're
like 4 or something, 4 or 5.
What were we going to say?
Because if we finish 7th, it probably means that Frank has done enough to keep his job.
We're 5 points off 7th at the moment.
Yeah, but you obviously need to maintain the good run, don't you? So...
Yeah, he would have probably... he would have turned it around somewhat if we were to finish 7th.
Yeah.
Ish. Yeah, he would have. Yeah, he would have.
But look, for me, this is the most important game of the season so far. It has to be.
Yeah, it is. That's my point. Yeah, my point is we don't look like we're finishing in where we want to in the league. You never know, but I'm saying right now it doesn't look like it. So if you offered me an FA Cup, even if it meant finish 17th, given how we're looking, I'd probably, if you told me that was going to happen, I'd probably take it. But I think this is so important for me. I think just to keep interest in the season alive, keep some element of being able to achieve something this season alive. I think it's so important.
We can't be without European football next season. It's just to be a massive, massive kick in the teeth. After winning a European competition last season, to not be in it next season will be disgraceful.
Yeah,
it will be. Not to finish in the top 6, 7. Like, the squad is good enough. I don't care what anyone says. The squad is good enough to finish in the top 7.
I agree.
I really don't care what anyone says.
The problem now is with the injuries.
Right now,
injuries.
In the current state, it's not. In the current state, it's not. We need massive help in January.
Yeah, we need massive help, and Frank is really stuck now because he desperately needs results because we're 14th.
Yeah,
and that's unacceptable. And we don't. He obviously is not going to have the Europa League to save him or whatever. And also, we've just been shocking, like how no one enjoys the football, whatever. So he really needs results. But how is he going to get results amidst this injury crisis? But the thing is, unlike last season, unlike Ange, where we had obviously a 5th place finish and we had some good early season games and we had the Europa League that kind of soaked up although it was very negative a lot around the club last season, given how we were losing games amidst the injury crisis, obviously I guess the board and some fans felt like, look, get the players back, we'll start playing good football again, or we have the Europa League run to focus on once we get these players back, and that's something to focus on. And, you know, we finished 5th last season, given the benefit of the doubt. Frank doesn't have any of that. He has none of those. He has none of those caveats.
Yeah.
So there's not much for him to fans to cling on to if we are losing games, even if it is amidst the injury crisis, unlike last season where there are a few mitigating things you can cling on to.
Yeah.
Like, you can't sit and say if he gets the injuries players back, we'll start playing good football, because we never were playing good football.
Yeah, which is true. But also the caveat to that is that he's only just got the job at the start of the season.
But that's also, I understand that, but that unfortunately that's a hand he's been dealt.
Yeah.
You can only go on what we've seen.
Yeah, it's true. And look, like I've said on a number of occasions now, nothing that I've seen from Frank suggests that he should be our manager for the long term.
I feel bad for him now because I feel like it's destined to go one way at this point, given the injuries.
The thing is, however bad it's been under Frank, I have seen a few things over the last 3, 4, 5 games where has shown steps in the right direction is probably a bit too strong, but more positive signs.
Okay, but have you seen enough to suggest if we were to keep losing games, even if it's a missed injury crisis, that what you've seen is enough to cling on to?
No, definitely not.
That's my point.
Definitely not. But if the injuries didn't come,
that's fine. But
it could have happened. You don't know that.
But we're talking about hypotheticals. I don't disagree with you, but I'm talking about how the fans are going to react to what I expect.
I think the fans have already made up their mind, in my opinion, that Frank ain't the right man for the job. And I think it's clear for everyone to see. You don't boo a manager this violently after every game, home and away fans, if he's the right man for the job.
I was watching the James Walcott podcast the other day, when I came in, and he was taking some data from polls that he saw from this guy who's called Fan Narrative on Twitter, and he did some research about how in or out people are with Frank. And from his research, he concluded that Tottenham fans are more out on Frank than they were with Levy.
Really? I mean,
they're more Frank out than they were Levy out. When like last season.
I can actually see that, to be honest, because there was still a large section of the fan base that were not Levy out. Obviously, the noise was big because of the protests and stuff like that, but that was still a very small percentage of the actual stadium. I feel like, I mean, that doesn't really surprise me that much, to be honest.
Yeah, but it's mad to think about that's the case. Yeah,
all right.
We got Here We Go.
All right, well, anyway, that's the match preview. Let's end that one. And let's go to a Here We Go that Spurs have got.
I don't see it. Have we been Here We Go catfished?
Let's see.
Is it not on Twitter? Well, everyone's saying it, so...
He must be on YouTube or something.
Where is it? Instagram? People? No, Here We Go. No, Here We Go? Why is everyone saying it? They just, is it fake?
Have we got the Here We Go or not, people? Are you baiting us?
Not on Insta. Is he live on YouTube or something? Did someone post a link? Anything? On Twitter? People saying on Twitter? No, it's not.
It's just the green tick and white soon. It's not Here We Go.
24 sets. Someone just put
I want to let people know about a plan as well, a fan initiative for tomorrow. They're saying get on the concourse at 4:30, entrance 253, to have a sing-song. Get in your seats 15 minutes before kick-off. Bobby Stewart, the drummer, the great drummer, will be at the front of block 250 at the Park Lane, drumming at the build-up. His drum will be louder than usual. The whole stand will hear it. And he will start with Martin Chivers' Blue and White Army in tribute to the true Spurs legend. The team comes out, the trumpet as usual, followed by a minute's applause for Martin Chivers. With 9,000 away fans in the ground, let's build up a proper Tottenham Cup atmosphere. Forget the league, forget everything else. This is the FA Cup, one of the greatest trophies in world football. Let's back the team and win it again, up the Spurs. So obviously, yeah, so it'll be great memory to the great Spurs legend that is Martin Chivers.
Yeah, absolutely.
Obviously, rest in peace.
Yeah, everyone I think should be taking part in that who's attending.
Yeah. But no, here we go.
I don't see it.
We got done.
Why is everyone saying it? Bait.
We got absolutely done. Let's go through some super chats.
Yes.
SRV for life says, sunk cost fallacy alive and well with Ben.
The sunk cost. So he's saying that it's like being pot committed in poker. You invested so much into something, you can't let it go.
What have I invested into?
Frank. I'm guessing he's talking about.
By me saying he's not the right man for the job.
But you're not saying Frank out. You want him to get to the end of the season.
Yeah.
That's the sunk cost fallacy.
But the reason I want him to get it to the end of the season is because I don't see an alternative solution, not because I think he's the right man for the job. When I did think he was the right man for the job, but now I don't think he's the right man for the job.
So how bad to get before you consider an interim?
With relegation probably being a serious conversation.
Only relegation fight.
I think so.
That, you stick with him.
Yeah.
To the end of the season.
But I'm not sticking with him because I believe, things are going to turn around or whatever. I'm sticking with him because there's no alternative solution. That's the only thing.
A lot of people starting to seriously suggest Harry Redknapp as an interim.
Yeah, there's been a quote going around on social media, but the quote was actually in relation to the West Ham job, not the Tottenham job.
But what about Harry?
Would I take him for the rest of the season?
Terrific.
I wouldn't be against it.
Wouldn't be against it?
No. I know he's been out of a job for a while, but...
Do you actually think he get us playing?
He'll
run around a bit.
He'll get us playing more than Frank does, that's for sure. But we might concede a few more goals.
He'll get, Tel, just run down the line, Tel. Just run down the line. I had Bale. I can get you playing like Bale.
We need him for the transfer window, though.
I had Scotty Parker. You do a little pirouette, Zhao. You're a terrific player.
Yeah, build him up. Why not?
Yeah.
Real Nate says, sign Palhinha and make him captain. He acts as a leader.
Interesting, he brings that up because there was a report saying we're now definitely waiting to the end of the season to decide on him, and in fact we're not sure if we're going to do it. Zhao. Great performance against Bournemouth, but yeah, I don't know whether it's smart to exercise the option or not. It's kind of like at the beginning of the season, everyone was like, definitely yes. Now he's been out of the team for a long while, so everyone's like, okay, maybe not. Now he's had a great game, an overhead kick against Bournemouth. That's one good performance. Like for me, yeah, it depends who the manager is. I think I don't mind Zhao, but I don't think he should be our starting six.
Yeah, that's where I'm at with it. So I would exercise the option to keep João Palhinha, but only if it comes along with selling Bentancur and bringing in a starting six. That's the only.
But he prefers Bentancur to Zhao. So what does that tell you?
Well, it's not that I think that he shouldn't, because I think in terms of what we want as a team, Bentancur probably should be starting ahead of João Palhinha on a regularity. But I think João Palhinha is a good squad player to have. I think he's got...
If you're keeping one of them, why would you keep the one who is not preferred?
Because I think João Palhinha is just a really good player to have to bring on in like the last half an hour of games, to see out games. I think he adds a different kind of value that Bentancur has. And I think, I wouldn't mind keeping Bentancur as a sub, but as well, like he's always getting injured as well. So, and I think Bentancur as well, we can get a bit of money for, and I would just bring a monstrous sick to bring in. But who
get rid of them, both of them, if you could.
What, Palhinha and Bentancur? I mean, we could get rid of both of them.
I'm saying, would you?
Yeah, if we can bring in decent enough players, I would, yeah.
I think I'll try and probably get rid of both at this point. We'll try and upgrade that position, but it's going to be a hell of a job signing too, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think with Zhao, I'm undecided. I think I'm leaning towards no. I could have my mind changed come the end of the season. If I'm deciding now in January, if I have to decide, I'm going to decide no.
I like him as a squad player, though. I do like him as a squad player. I don't think Bentancur will be happy to stick around here just as a squad player.
He's so limited on the ball, Paulinho. It's
he is.
so hard to watch sometimes.
Yeah.
But he was better against Bournemouth.
Southeast Coys says, when we inevitably bring back Poch, the club must stick with him through rough patches. He's the last manager that had us to compete consistently. That's his credit in the bank. Give him a 5-year project. And yeah, like if we do bring in Poch, don't expect it to be all rosy straight away. We're going to have to go through some rough patches for sure. And we're going to have to stick by it if that is the case.
Yeah, but he's obviously going to have credit in the bank as well. Again, with Poch, I would love to see him back, but I also don't know if it's the right thing to do. I'm undecided on that as well. I can see both sides to it. I kind of feel like has football moved past him a bit? I think there's an element to that. Not moved past him, but he's no longer as ahead of the curve as he was, put it that way.
A few weeks ago, you were saying you'd bring him back.
But again, I would bring him back because I think he is a good manager still. And I do think the fans love him. There's an immediate connection there. He'd get the fans on side.
Was he not onto a good thing at Chelsea and then got sacked? Like second half of the season, he did well.
The thing is, we'll never know. We'll never know. I don't think
form
that,
turned around.
It did, and he finished 6th. I don't think his Chelsea team were great even in that run. Don't get me wrong. They had some really poor performances. I remember that drew to like Sheffield United, who were a shocking team that season. Like even in that run, they weren't solid. But again, given more time, could he have turned them into a really good team? We'll never know. I don't think that Chelsea was a great team, but there was evidence of them turning into a good team, I would say. That's what I would say about that Poch team. And I do think if he would have stayed on, who knows, maybe they would have turned much better and given more time. So that's the thing. The fact he didn't get that second season, I'm still undecided on that. The PSG thing didn't go particularly great. Now he's at USA, and they are getting some good results now, although after a year, there were a lot of people who were not happy with him, but now he's starting to get results. We'll have to see how the World Cup goes. So there's a lot of question marks on him. I think he's a good manager. I think he immediately gets a connection with the fans. I think he's good with young players as well, so that would help. He's quite good at developing players. We saw that at Tottenham last time. But I think when he came to Spurs last time, his way of playing and the way he set teams up and
revolutionised,
it was very revolutionary. The Premier League had not seen that kind of football before, and in fact, I think a lot of people followed him in terms of what he brought to the Premier League. And now everyone does it. But that's the point. Everyone does it now. Has he been able to, like Pep does, and like Klopp does, like adapt his game and continually like find different ways of staying ahead of the curve, like these managers, like the elites? I don't think so.
Who's your number one?
Nagelsmann, if we can.
Nagelsmann. Yeah, Nagelsmann's a brilliant manager. Yeah, but is he leaving Germany at the end of the World Cup? Maybe.
This is his second tournament.
Yeah. Remember, I wanted Nagelsmann after Poch.
Yeah. Back in the day, he was young then. He was like in his late 20s.
Yeah, he was at RB Leipzig.
Yeah. So I think, he would be my number one if we can get him.
Wibbers says everyone going tomorrow should bring their own Arsenal cup.
Cupgate. That doesn't, as much as it's trivial, it hasn't helped him. It just hasn't helped him.
Definitely not. I've seen so many people going mad at him over it, like literally just so over the top.
It is over the top, but at the end of the day, if like the memes were himself, Ange won a cup and all Frank can give us is an Arsenal cup, you know what I mean? Like,
I know.
That could be his lasting memory as a Tottenham manager, is holding an Arsenal cup. That could be his defining image.
Like Christian Gross has the ticket.
Yeah,
if he gets sacked at some point soon, that is what's...
That's just going to be his defining image.
100%. Yeah. 100%. This one says, F Villa, we got and believe in this team. Come on, you Spurs.
Come on.
That's what we love to see. Come on.
I like your positivity.
Wibbers says, speak of Vuskovic, if anyone wants to watch him play for free without resorting to a stream, St. Pauli versus Hamburg is on BBC Sport Online, 19th of January, 7:30. So 10 days' time.
23rd of January, corrected in his latest super chat.
Okay.
All right. Well, we're getting some Vuskovic watch We'll tune in. What should we do? You want to watch along?
Watch along, yeah.
You want to watch along?
This one says, I'm Frank out, but we've got to stop with the negativity and toxicity. This is our manager now, and we have to back the team. We can beat Villa. Come on, you Spurs.
You're Frank out. So I don't understand that. I want him gone. Get this guy out my club, but stop with the toxicity, guys.
I want Frank out, but he's our manager now.
He's our manager. So what do you? So that's what we're saying. We want him out as well. But also stop the toxicity. I don't know. I don't really understand that.
He's just saying, get behind the team and up the Spurs. Come on. Kai Tech says, we need major investment in the squad to achieve either a FA Cup or European places.
Yes. Could definitely, considering we have a lot of injuries.
Yeah. Malware says, Sim, how do you still have hair? Must be hanging on the same way. Thomas Frank is at Tottenham by pure luck, denial, and the fact no one's bothered to sack him yet. Big up, guys. Stay strong.
Thanks, Malware. Appreciate that. Thanks a lot. Thanks a lot. I've still got enough. Thank you very much.
He's saying, how do you still have it with Frank still in?
Oh, I see what you're saying. Great question. I've been losing.
Every day Frank stays in, his hairline is receding by 1 centimetre. Yeah. Michael Hellman says the Thomas Frank train has run out of steam. And Brian Daigle with the members chat. 62 months, Brian Daigle. The FA Cup is an occasion. Next, back to Christmas Day. Come on, you Spurs. The FA Cup is very special and need to bring it back to White Hart Lane.
Brian loves the FA Cup. We can bring a FA Cup home for Brian. I think all will be forgiven.
Yeah, absolutely. But yeah, I think that's it, people. We'll see you all tomorrow on match day.
We never got the here we go, did we? No. Nothing. All right. Yeah, let me just double check. Nah.
It's coming though. I think in the next 12 to 24 hours, I think we'll have it. I think we'll have it before kickoff.
In time for the Villa game?
In time for the Villa game, yeah. Get him in.
Get him in, get him starting.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
The funniest thing is, though, we're getting him in, and as soon as we have him back, the dog will be fit.
Yeah,
so, we haven't seen him for a while.
Tottenham.
So Senegal are 1-0 up, right?
Yeah, they're 1-0. Illiman and Die.
Yeah, so Basuma's off, down to 10 men. Pape's not on the pitch. So nice rest over AFCON our players are getting. But we'll see you all pretty soon, people. Kickoff is 5:45, I believe, or 5:30 or 5:45 tomorrow. So we'll see you then for another Spurs match day where everyone's going to keep completely sane, not lose their shit, and yeah.
5:45, yeah.
Yeah, happy days. So we'll see you tomorrow, people. Like, subscribe, and comment. And as always, come on, you Spurs.